Hi everyone, my name is JC and I'm OtakuOps. So I'm gonna start a gaming channel this year, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about myself and why I'm getting into this, etc. I've been a gamer for as long as I can remember. Starting from the early days, I had the Atari 2600, and then we moved on to the Sinclair system, which I actually have here. That's what it looked like back then. Keyboard. You connected a tape player to this port, and so it read data from basically audio tapes. And believe me, back then that was awesome. Then, of course, I moved on to Nintendo, but my parents were not very rich people, so I didn't have the opportunity to actually play many games. It was just a few games here and there. Then we got a PC, and I have to say that mostly I'm a PC player now. It kind of stuck with me. I remember back in high school when we were doing something, and one of my friends, one of my classmates, brought and installed SimCity 2000, I think it was, and I I did play SimCity on the Super Nintendo before that, and that looked kind of pretty cool, this top-down view, etc. But I was just like blown away by SimCity 2000 because you had kind of, like really 3D things, and you could really go crazy building your city. So that was something. During lunch breaks, we would play things like Quake and Doom sometimes, mostly Quake though. But I'm not a big fan of shooters, and this is because I mostly grew up with dungeon crawlers like Lands of Lore, etc. Lands of Lore, by the way, was really a cool game. I do recommend it. Please get it. Please try it. Please give it a try. Today, I'm still playing a lot of dungeon crawlers. I don't play many shooters. I like things with stories, like stories where I can connect to it. If you play something like Doom, it's you go around shooting things, but how do you really relate to the game? I don't really see that. So I prefer games like Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, where you have a collection of very interesting characters and you can relate to some of them, and that's what drags you more into the story, not just running around and shooting everything that moves. So games like that, like Final Fantasy, are also very good for learning languages. Back in those days, my English was actually not very good at all, and I learned a lot of English by playing Final Fantasy games. For example, I didn't understand. I didn't know much at all when I started. I didn't know what a knight was, for example. It just really kind of didn't click in my mind. But the cool thing about it though was probably a year after playing this kind of English games, I was like top of my English class at high school. So, you know, games do help. Growing up, actually, I obviously spent a lot of time on the computer, but I had to wrestle control with my over my dad. And so my dad would always come in and basically kick me out of the room and take over to do his things on eBay or whatnot. Uh, but sometimes he would also play games by himself. Generally, the same type of games that I just talked about. Mostly dungeon crawlers, kind of strategy games, turn by turn stuff. Maybe military games, I'm talking something like Heroes of Might and Magic, which I played as well. A lot of the time, I didn't have much to do, so I would just sit next to him and watch him play. So sometimes it would annoy him because I would say, no, go there, go right, and he would go left. Like obviously in the game it's cool that you have the freedom to go wherever you want. And then I was kind of the guiding voice sitting next to him. He didn't really enjoy that though. So I am not really surprised that the whole streaming um, community exists. People watch other people play games. that's just how it goes. That's how it was in my case, so I'm not surprised it's the case today. So I'm really excited to jump into this as well. You know, if people enjoy watching my commentary and watching my gameplay, which, you know, I'm gonna fail many times. I'm not like some kind of professional player. Especially a lot of the games I'm gonna try is gonna be for the first time playing, so I don't know what I'm starting at all. I just know like a little bit about the games, but never played a demo, nothing. So I'll probably die many times, and it's gonna be trial and error. But yeah, that's the good old way, you know. So anyway, please stay tuned, and I'll see you around.